You are now live. Where is Bintu Agne? Kay Brown, 127. Hi, Kay Brown. How are you? Sean Spellman. Sean Spellman is a great friend. Hillary J. She is too. Mom to Charlie. Kim Herdman. Hello, everybody. I'm super excited. It's Friday, TGIF, and I am going to send you into the weekend with a really inspiring woman. I'm not going to send you. She's going to send you into the weekend. Keep Moving by Maggie Smith. Notes on loss, creativity, and change. And this little book and this woman speak to me, and I thought, wow, they'll speak to you too. I think we all are changing. We're all evolving. So many people are thinking the country is moving on. The country is moving into something new. Some people are having trouble moving on. And she has great poems in here about how to keep it moving, how to look at the future as something full of possibility, how to see yourself as a work in progress, which is how I always see myself. And I just thought it would be great to have a conversation with her on a Friday. We'll put it up in the Sunday paper. And this book is a great book to give to somebody if you happen to be seeing anybody at Thanksgiving. It's a great book to have by your bedside that you can read. And she's just an all-around really cool person. And I don't know her, but I know of her, and I feel like I know her. But, you know, I feel like I know her from her posts and from this book. So while I'm waiting to have her join us, I thought I'd read this poem here, which I love. Focus on who you are and what you've built, not on who you planned on being and what you'd expected to have. Trust that the present moment, however difficult, however different from what you'd imagined, has something to teach you. Keep moving. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. And so, there's Maggie Smith, poet. Maggie's joining. So that's why I just thought I'd read one of Maggie Smith poems. Hi, Maggie.
Hi, Maria.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm so excited to be talking with you because I'm a big fan of yours. I'm a struggling poet myself, but I have gotten so much inspiration and hope from your work. And so I thought, what better person to speak to on Friday as we go into the weekend, as so many people are kind of struggling, right, to move on or wondering about how to keep it moving. I thought, Maggie, let's talk to Maggie. So thank you so much, and congratulations on this new book. It came out, I know, a month ago or so, but it's still new.
Thank you.
Yes, it's so beautiful. It's beautifully done on the inside, everybody. Look at it. I'm into that sort of thing, how it's displayed, the typography. Put one foot in front of the other and believe that the road will be there. Be proud. You are not only traveling a new road, but making it as you go. Keep moving. So, Maggie, I could just sit here and we could read back and forth. But how has the reception been to your beautiful book?
It's been incredible. I mean, one of the most beautiful things about writing this book during a difficult time and then having the book come out during a difficult time is the sense of community built around the book. I wrote all of these notes to self for me to help get myself through the day, or maybe even just the next 3 hours, because some days are like that. Yeah. And just hearing from people who are going through their own big life changes, which frankly this year we all are going through big life changes, and hearing that the book is sort of meeting them where they are and helping them face their hard times with courage and resilience means so much to me.
Do you find yourself surprised when you write like this that other people are in the same place as you or are having similar experiences to you? Because you write about divorce, you write about loss, and I've written about those things myself. And then I find while you're going through it, you think, I'm probably the only person feeling like this. And then all of a sudden everybody's like, I've been there, I know that, or I'm in that place.
Yes. I mean, I think when we're in our darkest places, we often feel alone
Yeah.
in that darkness. And so part of my goal with posting these notes in the beginning and then with publishing the book was, a way of sharing my own struggles so that other people maybe don't feel so alone in
Right.
theirs. Because if we just come clean and say, I'm trying, but I'm struggling, then other people won't think, oh, is it just me? Is everyone else having an easy time of it? And I'm the one who
Yeah.
can't get it together? No, it's all of us. Our struggles are different, but it's all of us.
And you end each of these poems with keep moving. And so I wanted to ask you about that. It's kind of a simple phrase, but it's a big idea and it's hard. It's hard to actually keep moving because some days you just can't keep moving. So why did you want to end each page with keep moving and what does that mean to you?
Yeah, the first note to self that I wrote was something about burning grief and anger as fuel to get me through that day. Like taking negative emotions and using that to sort of fuel and motivate me to get through the day. And I ended that one with keep moving. And I thought, you know what, really, that's what I'm trying to do. It's about pressing forward and about not looking in the rear view mirror so often, which I think when we're going through hard times, it's really easy to look behind us and think about the lasts and think about what was and what might have been but isn't anymore. And the hard thing is to imagine your way forward.
Yeah.
Hope is imaginative.
Yes, and it's kind of this is one the ending of one thing is also the beginning of another. What is the next adventure? Maggie asked. There is room enough in this life with its many endings, its many beginnings, for things you could not have imagined last week or last year or 10 years ago. What are you living right now that you could never have imagined?
I'm talking to you right now. Maria, my mother joined Instagram for this conversation, and
Oh,
I have been on for years. And was she seduced to Instagram before today? No.
what's her name?
Yeah,
What's her name?
her name is Nita Smith.
Nita. Hi, Nita. Thank you for joining us for this conversation. Your daughter's words are inspiring so many of us, but thank you for joining for this conversation. But are you living, like, in all seriousness, are you living something you didn't imagine now?
Oh, 100%. I mean, really, all of the hardest things I'm living through now, I couldn't have imagined. And all of the best, most magical things I'm living through now, I couldn't have imagined. And so that perspective gives me hope for the future because I know there are some plot twists coming. Life has proven that to me. It's not all going to be good ahead, but I know there's a lot of good ahead that I just can't see coming around the bend yet because my life has proven that that's the case too.
When you say you're living things you couldn't have imagined, like, what are some of them? What are some of them that you're like, wow, I was in such a dark place, I couldn't even see this, and now I'm doing that?
I mean, when I was in my darkest moment, I didn't know how I was going to keep this house. I didn't know what was going to happen to my children, how they would weather the divorce. I really wasn't sure professionally what I would be doing. Would I be able to continue being a freelancer because I'm self-employed? And divorce can be a little scary in that regard. How does
Yeah.
one continue to support themselves? And also, would I keep writing? Because I was in such a dark place, it's hard to feel creative when
Yeah.
you're really feeling stuck. And so really what I've proven to myself over the past couple of years is I'm still writing. I'm in my house. My kids, they're having a tough year in large part because of the pandemic, but they're
Right.
thriving in lots of ways. I've grown closer to friends through some of these hardships. I've grown closer to family through some of these hardships. So, there are little hidden gifts tucked away inside these hard moments, and we just have to sometimes unfold a lot of layers to find them and know to look, but they're there.
I love that. And at the end of the book, you write about revisions. You write about often writing things. And I like that you also write that sometimes you just sit down and the words come out. You don't write with the title. And then sometimes it's not quite what you thought and you're willing to put it down for a day, a week, a month, or whatever, and to come back to it. And life is a little bit like that, isn't it?
Life is a lot like that. I mean, I never know where it's going. That's the thing. And I don't usually know where a poem or an essay or a story is going either. I just sort of go where it leads me. And I have to trust that I'll get there, and be willing to revise and rethink things along the way. And life is a lot like that.
I think that that's such a great point, Maggie, to make, because certainly in my generation, when I was growing up, it kind of, you were taught it was kind of preordained, you know, this is how you built a career. This is how you built a family. This is how you built a life. And then you get divorced, or you lose a job, or something, you know, goes that's not in that plan. And you are sitting there going like, oh my God, nobody laid out this part of the plan. And in fact, there is no plan. There's
no plan.
That's the big kind of thing that nobody tells you, right? That there is no right way, and you're going to have to keep reinventing almost on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
And kind of a divorce shocks you into reinventing identity, self, future, what was, what is, where do I go? But people do that when they lose a job, right? In all different kinds of things. What's your best advice for somebody who is sitting here right now watching this in that darkness? And maybe they're not a writer, they're not a poet, and they're worried about their house, their kids, where they go.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all feeling something along that matrix of fear and uncertainty, and maybe a healthy dose of outrage and nervousness right now. And I think, you know, what's gotten me through some of those moments is thinking about the silver lining of that level of uncertainty is possibility. There is no right way, there is no plan. And frankly, knowing everything is a kind of death. Knowing everything that's coming is boring, as I write about my daughter saying about, you know, skipping to the end of a book.
Yeah.
It's boring. So the plus side of not knowing exactly what's going to happen next, even though it makes us fearful and feel insecure, the plus side is maybe we get to make it up. Maybe it changes. Maybe there were things about the way our lives were going that weren't really serving us, that we really didn't get a lot of joy in, but we were sort of walking that well-worn path because that's just what we were doing. Right. And so in some ways, this reset, although it is unwelcome and has come with a lot of grief and a lot of loss, maybe the gift tucked inside that uncertainty is new possibilities for making some changes and maybe trying some things and taking some risks that we wouldn't have been willing to do if we weren't forced into it.
So do you see, like, your handle is poet, and I was watching an interview you did with, I think it was CBS this morning. I was watching it the other day, and they asked you, do you consider yourself a self-help author now? And you said, well, I guess I wrote all of this to help myself. But isn't poetry kind of the umbrella of kind of looking into the self and then bearing the self and really having a deep conversation with the self and laying it out there so people can navigate their lives?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think of the act of writing a poem as me having a conversation with myself on paper. Yeah. And if people get something out of it, they're sort of eavesdropping on the conversation I'm having with myself. But also, yes, I think in some way, all literature, poetry, fiction, nonfiction is self-help, because we turn to books to widen our possibilities, to sort of maybe think about different things that could happen in a human life, that we and maybe get some empathy and some wider perspective. So I really didn't think I would be writing a self-help book, but in some ways, everything that we write is helping us, and if we're very lucky, helping someone else.
I don't see it. I mean, I love that it's poetry, because I'm a big poetry person, and I love what you say, that all writing is in a way kind of a window into the self, and also a window into the person that reads it, depending on when they read it, right? That we read things at different times in our lives, like you were just saying about revision. You can read something that you wrote, put it down, come back to it, and you're a different person when you look at it again. I love this poem here. Do not sit still inside your grief, your fear. Take one step toward making something real and lasting, something you can be proud of. Maybe that something is you. Is that you, Maggie?
I think, yeah. I mean, when I wrote it, it was me. Like maybe you can do this. I was pep talking myself into thinking, maybe you can pull this off. Maybe you can do this. Maybe this isn't the end. Maybe it's just, not the end of the book. It's just the end of a chapter. And now you get to write the next one and the next one and the next one. And maybe some exciting things are up ahead. And that's true. I think that's true.
I love that. Do not bargain away pieces of yourself for approval. It's a bad deal. If there are conditions on someone's love for you, understand that that is not love. Move on, keep moving. And I love that because I've had a lot of kind of conversations in my own head about what actually is love. And I think all of us do, right? And
we
kind
do.
of understanding what is love. When do we move on from love? When do we hold a candle? How do we keep moving when we're no longer loved by who we want to be loved by, but ultimately we want to be loved by ourselves, right?
That's the thing. I mean, I think, when we're going through the hardest times of our lives, it's really important to have community and to have family and have people around us who love us. But the most important conversation that we have every day is the one that we have with ourselves. Yeah. And if we're not telling ourselves that we're worthy of love and that we've got this, everybody else's kindness will kind of roll off of us and we might not fully absorb it.
So I think an empty space is full of potential. Believe that you're making room for something. Turn on the vacancy sign. And I love that because I think it's so important. All of us can turn that sign on at any juncture in our life, right? And I'm always trying to promote that no matter you're not too old to put the vacancy sign up. You're not too old to achieve your dreams. You're not too old to keep moving and keep trying and keep wondering. And I think this book is so great, the way it kind of, trust the future you to handle what the present you. I mean, it's really thoughtful, inspiring, and like obvious in many ways. It's like, I had that conversation with Maggie. She put it down on the paper. So what is it kind of this little book, your hope for this little book?
Honestly, my hope for this little book is that it finds someone who feels like I did in the fall of 2018. And it makes them feel a little bit braver and sort of better feeling about the future in their own lives. This is the book, Toni Morrison wrote, write the book that you want to read, right? If it doesn't exist, write it. And so this is a book that if I had picked it up in that time, I think I would have gotten a lot out of it. And so my hope is that this book will meet somebody where they are and maybe help them see that it's just maybe what they're facing is the end of a chapter, but it's not the end of the story.
So beautiful. I love that. Stop calling your heart broken. Your heart works just fine. If you're feeling love, anger, gratitude, grief, it is because your heart is doing its work. Let it. Keep moving. And I mean, I could sit here all day and read here, but I think as the country is facing its own keep moving forward, I really thought it would be great to talk to you because these lessons are personal, but they're political. They're spiritual, they're practical. And the country is going to keep moving. Our president-elect is moving. There are people who are upset. There are people who are excited. But we all have to keep moving and understand, like Maggie says, that it's a chapter. And the whole book of our lives is in progress, right? And there's
That's right.
I love that. Predictability is boring. I have that down. So I hope everybody, I want to thank you, Maggie. I want to thank your mom for joining us. That's so great. You're so lucky to have your mom. So lucky to have your mom and so grateful. I hope you guys have a happy Thanksgiving. I hope everybody goes out and gets it. Keep moving. Maggie Smith, Notes on Loss, Creativity, and Change. I'm going to give this to everybody at Thanksgiving.
Oh,
And
thank you.
I'm a big admirer of your work. And you're doing so well only 2 years after your darkness. Many of us take much longer than you have.
You know,
But
there's an ebb and flow. You know that
yeah,
that's the way it is.
amen. Amen.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Maggie. Good luck to you and
Thank
bravo. And thank
you.
you for joining us. God
Have a
bless you.
wonderful weekend.
You too. So the book is Maggie Smith, poet. You can follow her. She wrote a very famous poem that kind of jump-started her. It was called Good Bones, that a lot of people know about. This book is a really great book. As I said, everybody asked me again to read the title, Keep Moving by Maggie Smith. Really simple, really profound. I love the paradox of that, simple and profound. Helpful and easy to take. Just ordered it, says Shelley Semity. Good. And put it next to your bedside, or put it next to your toilet, or put it in your closet, or wherever your special space and place is. Put it there so you can pick it up and keep moving. That's the important thing. Got to keep moving, keep dreaming, keep trying, and understand that your past is in the rearview mirror and what's out there. I call it the open field. She calls it possibility. And come up with a name that makes it possible for you to envision it. Where is this book available? It's available everywhere. You can get it at an independent bookstore. You can get it on Amazon. You can just get it wherever you want. David Phoenix, can't wait to read. Yes, get it, or I'll get you one. I love this. I could just sit here and read these poems to you. Tell yourself kinder truths. Today's National Kindness Day, I think, right? So let me read this. Tell yourself kinder truths. You are not failing at life. You are reeling, maybe, but you are succeeding at surviving. So maybe like take one of these poems and share it with somebody today on National Kindness Day. It might just change the way their whole week goes. It might change the way they look at their weekend. It might change everything for them that you gave them a poem, and that you thought of them, and trust the future you. I love that one, to handle some of what is present. You don't have to be in love to have love in your life. Take stock of everything and everyone that fills your heart. That's a really good one if you find yourself alone or without that kind of person that's supposed to be sitting next to you. Maybe that person isn't there at this point in your life, but you don't have to be in love to have love in your life. Take stock of everything and everyone that fills your heart. So have a wonderful National Kindness Day. Oh, a lot of people saying they're ordering this. That's good. That makes me happy. That makes me happy for Maggie and for you, for both of you. So God bless you. Happy Friday, TGIF. It's going to be a great weekend. Please get the Sunday paper. If you're not signed up for it, please sign up for it. It'll take you above the noise. It'll inspire your heart and mind, and it'll put you in a great community of people. And this will be in there. So you'll get to listen to it again and read all kinds of great quotes.